Welcome to an episode of Inner Work Guides, Alchemical Gnosis, Yoga of the West. I'm your host, John H. Reed III. Let's get to it. Sustainable Transmutations, Hermetic Astrology. Last week's episode touched on the fact that there are two views or levels of understanding regarding astrology and its use in Hermetic science. When the soliloquy of the traveler's inner lunar intelligence centered on Paracelsus's "Who rules the stars?" and said, "And although the higher stars do give the animal inclination and assign man and other earthly bodies for the manner of their birth, yet that power and dominion are nothing save only a predestined mandate and office in which there is nothing occult or abstruse remaining, but the inner force and power put forth through external signs." It speaks about exoteric astrology that is concerned with virtues or forces immanent and emanative in physical objects. In the early 1920s, a scientist named Lilian Kolisko embarked on a series of investigations. Her goal was to determine if celestial bodies had any effect on terrestrial matter. This intriguing line of research was sparked by a suggestion from Rudolf Steiner to investigate the workings of etheric formative forces in mineral substances. Kolisko's method of investigation was known as capillary dynamolysis, or the rising picture method. The experiment involved dissolving laboratory-grade mineral salts in distilled water to form a standard molar solution. A measured amount of the solution was poured into a petri dish and allowed to rise up the filter paper, creating a pattern, thus the rising picture method. The experiments were carried out daily for over 20 plus years, establishing a baseline pattern for each mineral salt. Kolisko was able to prove the direct influence of planets on mineral substances, notably revealed at critical conjunctions, oppositions, and eclipses, as shown by changes to the baseline pattern 3 days before and after the astrological event, for a total of 7 days of measurable influence. Such interactions are expected, as Paracelsus says, the stars coerce and compel the animal man, so that where they lead he must follow. Just as the thief does the gallows, a robber the wheel, a fisher the fishes, a fowler the birds, and a hunter the wild beast. The secondary polarity of astrology is its esoteric understanding, where the inner universe or sidereal universe is established within each person. As Paracelsus eloquently puts it, the wise man can dominate the stars and is not subject to them. Nay, the stars are subject to the wise man and are forced to obey him, not he the stars. This control is possible because each of us carries a lesser universe with the whole firmament and its powers hidden within us. In Hermeticism, the stars within us are not mere balls of energy. We refer to them as intelligent entities, and they are here to guide us in various ways. A quote from Sound and Color by Paul Foster Case, the founder of BOTA, or Builders of the Datum, and published in 1931 by the Hestia Publishing Company, should help clarify. Quote, "Remember that the signs represent the 12 basic human types of life expression, while the stars represent phases of the one life which, though active throughout the universe, have the same general qualities in every human being, no matter to which one of the 12 types he may belong. You will significantly simplify your work if you think of these planetary names as being convenient short labels for the various phases of your personal energy. For instance, when we say Mars, we are not referring to the planet in the sky. We mean something that is part of your personal makeup, that you always have with you, and that has a particular kind of work to do through your personality. So it is with all the other stars." End quote. The one life, which is active throughout the universe, is believed to find dominant expression in cycles. Frater Albertus, a renowned 20th century alchemist, extensively studied these cycles, which he termed astrocyclic pulsations. These cycles can be effectively utilized by applying filters based on the 4 elements, the 7-fold and 10-fold cycles of planets and stars, and the 12-fold cycle. This approach can provide valuable insights into one's challenges during inner work. To explain the use of astrocyclic pulsations goes beyond the scope of this episode. I will say this. Even though Frater Albertus used the cycles to show how the interplay of the cycles found their expression in human history, they were not meant as a prognostication tool. Instead, they were meant to be used to understand how the interplay of the various cycles, forces, might also seek analogous expression in our interior lives, and thus effectuate the emanation of a pocket of control in our outer lives. Next week, we'll meet back up with the traveler. Thank you for listening to this episode of Inner Work Guide's Alchemical Gnosis, Yoga of the West. Don't forget to follow or subscribe. Contact me by writing to guide@innerwork.guide. Go to my website, innerwork.guide. Create an account to get on the mailing list. Read the blog and listen to the podcast. Click on the donate button to support my work.